Hello, my name is Carrie Brown and I am with the Central Mississippi Regional Library System. Today I'm going to be reading to you Chapters 7 and 8 of Calendar Mysteries, August Acrobat. Written by Ron Roy, illustrated by John Stephen Gurney, published by Random House, New York. Chapter 7, Meet Pete. Nate and Brian stared. You do? Who is it? Nate asked. Bradley looked through Howard's window at the clock. We have to go, he said. If we don't get home and eat dinner, we won't be able to go back and see the rehearsal. The kids hurried up Main Street. They took Silver Circle to Woody Street, where both Nate and Lucy lived. They stopped in front of Nate's house. Let's meet here at 10 to 7, Bradley said. But you didn't tell us who the acrobat is, Nate said. We'll tell you then, Bradley said. Come on, Brian, I'll race you home. The twins dashed through Nate's yard and ran to their house on Farm Lane. An hour and a half later, Bradley, Brian, and Lucy were standing in front of Nate's house. Nate burst through his front door eating a cookie. He carried more cookies in a paper napkin. Are you planning to share? Brian asked, eyeing the cookies. Duh, that's why I brought 3, Nate said. 1 for each of you. Ruth Rose and I made them, but they're good anyway. Thanks, Nate, you're great, Lucy said. I know I am, Nate said. Okay, you two, spill the beans. Tell us who you think the acrobat is. Let's get going, Bradley said. I'll tell you on the way. The kids walked and munched. Remember that guy who asked Howard for a haircut? Bradley asked as they reached the high school grounds. Yeah, he had serious hat hair, Nate said. Right, Bradley said. His hair reminded me. Bradley stopped when he saw Adam and Hannah sitting on the bus's bumper. It looked as if something was wrong. Hi, Lucy said. Hi yourself, Hannah said. She wiped some tears off her cheeks. Then she smiled. We're the crying Fortunatos today. Adam giggled. Better than the dying Fortunatos, he said. Both teenagers laughed. What's going on? Brian asked. Should we tell them? Adam asked his sister. Sure, why not? She said, wiping her eyes on her sleeve. They sold tickets for us. Adam stood up and opened the sliding door of the bus. Come on in, he said. The kids climbed inside the bus and looked around the cozy apartment. There was a bed, a small table with a lamp on it, and a rug on the floor. In one corner, an old gray parrot sat on a perch. He tilted his head and stared at the newcomers with his shiny black eyes. Peter the parrot, he croaked. Bradley laughed. Does he say anything else? He asked. Adam scratched the parrot's chest with his finger. He used to, but now it's just those 3 words, he said. We've tried to teach him more, but he pretends he doesn't hear us. Right, Pete? Peter the parrot, Peter squawked. Bradley noticed that every inch of wall space held a painting or drawing. Some of them showed circus stuff, like clowns and lions and elephants doing tricks. Bradley realized that the picture he'd found in the shoebox was done by the same artist. He looked at the signature on the bottom of each picture. Adam. One whole wall held pictures of a trapeze artist. An acrobat in silver tights was flying through the air or swinging from a trapeze bar or doing flips. Like the others, these pictures were signed by Adam. Lucy put her finger on the figure wearing the silver costume. This is you, right? She asked Hannah. Chapter 8. Lucy's Idea. Hannah blushed. How did you know? She asked. We saw you yesterday on the trapeze, Lucy said. I thought you were wonderful. Why, thank you, Lucy, Hannah said. But I was in my costume, so how do you know it was me? That's what I want to know, Brian said. Bradley told Hannah and Adam about the man at Howard's barber shop, the one with the messy hair. It reminded me of Hannah's the first time we saw her, he said. That was, 5 minutes after we watched the mystery acrobat in the tent. I remember, Nate said. Hannah's hair was all spiky. After I saw that guy at Howard's, I thought maybe Hannah's hair was all weird because she just pulled off that hood on her silver costume, Bradley went on. Later, her hair was all neat. Our folks don't know, Adam said. We haven't told them how good Hannah is on the high wire and trapeze. But why not? Bradley asked. She's awesome. Adam sighed. The folks want to keep the Flying Fortunatos together, but the circus is falling apart, he said. They're getting old and they have no money. Even if I performed, we still wouldn't have a circus, Hannah said. She looked at her brother. Tell them the rest, Adam. I don't want to be an acrobat anymore, Adam said. I want to be an artist. I want to go to art school this fall. But your parents, Bradley started to say. They don't know that either, Adam said. They're going to be crushed when we tell them. Bradley remembered the note. Who's Mr. Wood? He asked Adam. How'd you hear about him? Adam asked. Bradley told him about the picture he'd found in the shoebox. You wrote the note, right? Adam nodded. Lawson Wood is a great artist, he explained. I want to do what he does. I was writing him a letter, and then I threw it away. Adam looked at his sister. Your turn, he said. I don't want to be an acrobat either, Hannah said. I want to open a school to teach acrobatics. But the folks would have a fit. They keep thinking they can save the circus. She's a natural, Adam said. She could totally teach other people. I think she's part bird or something. Hannah grinned. You're the one who's part bird, she said. Turning to the kids, she added, Adam Fortunato is the best acrobat I've ever seen. Our parents taught him. Now he's even better than they were. He's been teaching me for the past 10 years. Bradley remembered Adam's performance earlier. We saw you in the tent, he said. You didn't look much like an acrobat. Oh, I was just practicing how I was going to fool my parents, Adam said. I was going to pretend I was a klutz, that I couldn't do it anymore, so they let me out of the show. What are you guys going to do? Nate asked. Adam shrugged. Hannah shook her head. I have an idea, Lucy said. Adam and Hannah looked at Lucy. Tell us, Hannah said. Tell your parents they can be part of the audience tomorrow night, Lucy said. Thank you. Be sure to tune in next week for Chapter 9. Goodbye.